Well, good morning. This is Regina Clark, and it's Wake Up Wednesday. And if you remember, it's not about the time of day, it's about waking up, about becoming aware. And that is the journey that I feel like I'm on. And I wanted to I'm getting a little bit more vulnerable today because I'm going to honor myself in some way, shape, or form through this talk. In that this coming Saturday, May 21st, is my 59th birthday. And so I am, in a way, celebrating me, who I am, and sharing a little bit with you about what's going on in my life, maybe a little bit about how I've gotten where I've gotten. And so I thought I would start because I feel like so much of my really deep stuff has been since I've moved here to Colorado. And that was in 2015. So just before I moved here, I ended a 27-year marriage. And I believe it was beautiful while it lasted. I'm so grateful for my three wonderful children. And it was time for a transition and a shift. Everybody may not agree with that and the till death do us part, and I get it, and that's great. You do what works for you. But that was when a huge shift in my world, and more of this discovery of who I am, what I'm here to do, healing my heart, a lot of things that came into play. And it was during that time that I read this book. I'm always good for a book recommendation. When the Heart Waits by Sue Monk Kidd. If you've never read it, it's a lot about transition and her relationship with her husband, her relationship with the church, her relationship in discovering who she was and a part of that more femininity. So it's about paradigm shifts, and I think it's brilliant. It may be something that you want to check out if maybe you're in this discovery place of how does life really work? Who am I really? What really matters here? And being authentic. Another, oh my goodness, listen to Brene Brown doing an interview on Unlocking Us is her podcast, and she did the interview with Viola Davis and around her book called Finding Me. So I have ordered that. It should be actually coming. I'll get it for my birthday. That's kind of a gift to myself. Love, love, love those types of stories, autobiographies, people's journeys. And I know that it wasn't too long ago, a few weeks ago, that we talked about forgiveness and seeds of devotion. And I even encouraged through that writing to write your own obituary. Now, I don't usually recommend anything that I am not willing to do or have not done myself. So, in getting real and vulnerable and just being me and honoring myself, it's a little awkward, but that's okay. I hope that as I honor myself, I give permission for other people to honor themselves and who they are, and to rejoice in who you are, and to look at the good and to not look at what's missing, what you think you aren't doing right or who you think you aren't, but really honor who you are. So I wrote my obituary. So this is what I wrote, and this isn't written, rewritten, edited, all that. It's just a one shot deal. I wrote it, I found it in my journal. I thought, I'm going to share it. So, what I would love that would be said by me is Regina lived a life with a need to know mindset. She had a deep desire to understand and experience life. She wanted to know what was possible. She wanted to live, or she lived, if it's past tense, right? She lived without fear. She wanted to expand her awareness and connect to a higher wisdom and intelligence, to make the miraculous commonplace, to not buy into the programming of limitation. Regina will be remembered for her honest caring and her enthusiasm for life. So that would be, I would love for some of those things to be said, and for that to be how people experience me. And then another thing I'm going to share is from when I went to this women's weekend in Mexico with my daughter. Can't believe that was just last weekend. It feels like a world has happened, a lifetime since then. But we were given a card, and you may not be into the whole astrology thing. I don't know what I think about a lot of things. What I do believe and know at this stage in my life is that I do believe that in the cosmos, or the created order, that there has to be intelligence behind it, and the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, the galaxies, all the things that are so big that maybe there's something in that design that could have an impact on who I am. So I felt like these were very honoring, and I'm going to speak them because I'm putting out there, again, this is part of who I desire to be. And I want to grow more and more into that with more boldness in my 59th year. And again, open the door for you to do the same. And so I'm going to start. I happen to be on May 21st. And so I am on the cusp. And so I have both. I have both Taurus and Gemini. So I'm going to read to you part of what this card says. She is ruled by the earth element and her practical nature, a duality of both solid ground and tenderness, an open heart with strong boundaries, a devoted friend, your voice of reason, a garden growing, a deep exhale. She will carry your love with an open palm. Unconditional is how you call her name, only searching for what's real, full breath and consuming. She knows there is no brilliance to be found in the half hearted. A familiar touch of an old book running along her fingertips, a life adorned. These are the building blocks to her universe. She notices the simple things, revealing the beauty in what surrounds her. She nourishes her dreams by honoring each moment and the soft magic they inspire. I deeply resonate. That's why I think there's something to this whole thing. um, and I love it. And I love reminding myself. And so then there's Gemini, there's the other part of me. And again, if your birthday, right, is the end of April up to May, that applies to you as well. So take it, honor it, embrace it. And then here's Gemini. So if you are from the 21st on to June, around the 20th, this would apply to you as well. So please take this for yourself. Governed by expression and her unbridled curiosity, she greets each day with anticipation, eager to take on new roads with her childlike wonder. The scent of lavender, she is twirling under the mother moon in crimson hills, a forget-me-not, an open palm reaching. She tucks away these treasured moments in her back pocket for safekeeping. She teaches us that when we do not explore different views, we deny ourselves the richness of growth and experience. So she chooses to answer the call for adventure and wander off into the open wilderness. The rebellion just outside the lines of what everyone else is doing. The unknown is where she comes alive. Her courage illuminates her own trails. And if you want to look this up for yourself, this is in the feminine. So honestly, I don't know if she does it for the masculine as well. But these actually say at the top, I am her. And so it is a confirmation of who we are and what we're here to do. And these are by Danielle Doby, D-O-B-Y. If you don't happen to be born in the month of April, May, or June, then you can look up what it says about you. Another thing this morning, and I'm going to close here just quickly because I want to tell you why I'm including a song that I'm including. And that is when I went for a walk with a dear friend this morning. I went down to my basement where I've kind of set up an exercise area that I want to be using. And I saw a wall, when I first moved here in 2015, that I put this, like a whiteboard, but a big one on my wall. And the things that I had written on there, and I hadn't read it in a while. And it was a reminder to me of the transformation that I'm in. So some of the things on my wall, and again, I'm going to include it so you can blow it up and look at what's there because I think it's kind of fun. So one of my things was standing for something and against nothing. And that's a really big concept to wrap your brain around. But I would rate, Mother Teresa says, if you invite me to a peace rally, I will come. But if it is one where you're standing against a protest, she would never give her energy to that. So it's we don't need to fight against each other. This is my belief. We can stand for what we stand for and allow other people to stand for what they stand for. And then there's room for all of us, and it makes the world work in a much better way. And then I had another saying today, and I said this for quite some time. I'm going to see what I need to see, feel what I need to feel, and know what I need to know. There's a lot of great things on here. I have Ecclesiastes. There's for everything, there is a season, and that there's no judgment here. To be the change I want to see in the world, the reminder that I am the sky. I am the sky. Everything else is just the weather. All the things that are happening, the transitions, the things that come and go, the clouds, the rain, the sun. I am the sky. I am the consistent. And so that's why, to me, this is where we spend the most time, is having this solidarity, the steadfastness, the groundedness of me, so that all the other things can just float by, pass through. If you just wait, it's going to change. And so I don't need to get pulled out of my heart by all the things that are happening. And so I am including a song that my daughter did that I thought was beautiful. I'm going to just put a link somehow in this, and it is in Spanish, but what she's saying is that I feel everything. In order to heal, I need to feel. And that may not be the exact translation. And if you know Spanish, good for you. You'll understand it perfectly. But for those of you who don't, that is the message, that we need to feel in order to heal. Let it come up, feel it, let it go. It's all good. So I am so grateful to be with you for another week. I'll come back next week, being 59, sorry. 60's next year. That's my Grand Canyon trip. So I'm not there yet, but I'm super blessed. I'm so, so, so very grateful for my life, for the people in my life, for my friends, for those of you here. And I just honor you and encourage you to discover you. Discover you. Keep discovering you and allowing for growth and change. And no, it's not always comfortable, but it is so well worth the journey. I'll see you next week on Wake Up Wednesday.